What's cracking?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Howdy doody buckarooskies. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, Mr. Keller, one of our only East Coasters.
What am I?
Yeah, what is Jim, chopped liver over there?
I forget about Jim. Like, he's Dre. You can't forget about him. I kid, I tease. Hi, Dana Simmons.
Like he's not even on the East Coast.
It's because he had just logged on. Jim, you were the first one on. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Hate me forever.
Oh well.
This is the worst. We'll hold tight for just another moment. See if we can get a couple more rowdy people to the party. Dana, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Your daughter's transitioning into a new role on the team, right?
She is, yes.
How's that?
See that desk right back there where she's not? That's going to be her desk, which is in my office. I might be a little nervous.
Really?
I love her, but sometimes we do this. So I'm hoping it works out well. She's very smart, and she'll do a great job if the two of us can just be nice.
There's a number of you that work with family, husband and wife style. Do any of you work with kids? Dan, you work with your brother.
Yeah, pray for me,
Nephew.
remember? And then one of my youngest boys is joining on the ISA side for scoreboards and signage. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah. Well, I have my sister, I have my brother-in-law, I have my niece, and I have my daughter. My daughter's the only one I'm nervous about. She's worked for me for a long time, but she and I are way too much alike, and that's part of the problem.
Okay. I don't have any insight or advice because I am apparently smarter than many of you, and I don't work with family. So I feel confident about my choice. Almost all of you work with family, though. Like 2/3 of this group. That's something. Okay. That's something. Anyways, gang, let me do a quick round the horn and a check-in. Everybody gets 30 seconds or so. What kind of energy and mindset and focus are you bringing in? Are you crushed? Are you defeated? Are you on top of the world? What does it look like? Jim Black, let's start with you.
Oh, I'm first now. I'm actually in a pretty good spot. I mean, I just had one of my, not my top producing agent, but one of the middle agents leave today, and kind of excited. So just in a spot, just a different mindset. I really think our culture needs to be a culture of lots of productivity, no complaining, and I think the more that we can part ways with, the better.
Okay. Colton, let's go to you.
Good. We've October, November, December sucked. January, finally the company made some profit. February was much better. March is going to be great. The best thing that's come from all of this is we've got two people, one guy that did 30 million who's joining the team next week, another one that did 20 million that's joining. There's a lot of people wanting to change, and I'm making sure that I'm reaching out to those people.
I was up in Bellingham. We had auctioned off our time with Ben Kinney. I was up in Bellingham last week, and he said one of the messages people need to hear right now is that everybody is recruitable right now. Yep. Those agents that have $30 million teams, if you're getting them to align with your team, they're looking to push that easy button, get a little more security. You went whale hunting, Colton, and looks like you caught a couple.
Well, and I got nervous because he was like, hey man, because where he's at, his brokerage pays their flex fee for them, which is not profitable. You cannot run it that way. But they use it as a loss leader to be able to pull in the SOI business and all that stuff, which maybe not a bad play considering they have 600 agents. But that was a big struggle for him. And he was like, hey, is there anything that you're willing to do to sweeten the pot? And in my head, I was like, Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But I was like, no, everybody's on the same split, including myself. I said, nobody gets any special treatment, that we know what we offer as value. And I sent it and I waited and he was like, all right, I'm in. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh, okay. Okay, take bigger swings. That's the lesson there. Dana, how about you?
I wish I was like Colton and things were ramping up as quickly as they are for him. They're not. Our listings are ramping up. Our sales haven't yet. So in Texas, we're wimps. So when it's 40 and 50 degrees, we think it's freezing and no one wants to get out of their homes. And so it's starting to warm up. So I'm very hopeful. The phone is starting to ring a little more. So getting a little traction now. So hopefully that will lead us into a more profitable end of spring and summer.
Mike and Rach.
I think we're in a good spot. The January sucked, was awful. Lost quite a bit of money. February was profitable, just barely. But trending in the right direction in March is going to be pretty awesome. We've got a really good slew of closings. We have the top 5 are still really the only ones producing. All the new agents on the team, which when we get into the keep, stop, start, we'll discuss more. But yeah, new agents on the team are just not like really doing anything yet. They don't have really much contribution to the team. So, but I think we've done a good job kind of outlining that, you know, the team is the platform and you build your business on top of that. And so the people that are taking advantage of it are crushing it. And the people that are half-assing it are getting the results that they deserve.
Mark, cool.
I love you, Rachel.
To be honest.
Hey, how's it going? We were in the same boat as Rachel, actually. Our January was not profitable. Our February was kind of break even-ish and our March is looking pretty good. And so we're rolling in from there. Our agents are feeling the pressure from what the market's done. And I think that's going to turn pretty quickly. I think we kind of lucked out the fact that we hit it in the winter and we're coming into spring rather than hitting it in fall and then having to go through winter and then to spring. So I think we lucked out in that aspect. I feel positive about the market. We're taking more market share. There's less sales in the valley, but we're taking more market share. So we're real happy about that.
I don't think we understand the impact of taking market share. Even though your company didn't make any money the last couple of months, right? We can look at that and feel like you're losing. If you're gaining market share as the market goes back to a balanced or a healthy market, if you maintain that share, your sales are so much more grand than what they were before. So yeah, take that hill. I don't know what that means, but I said it. Iverson, let's go to you.
Hello. So similar to what others have said, thankfully we had a very good December to kind of carry us into the new year, but January was not great. February was not great. Now that it's 40 degrees here, we're seeing an upswing. So we're the opposite of Texas. It's balmy. So people are getting out, but I'm a little fearful of how this year is going to be. I mean, we're still seeing houses with 15, 17 offers. It's
Wow.
pretty cutthroat right now. I mean, it's either they get 17 offers or they're overpriced and they're sitting, sort of that, kind of in between that. So I think it's going to be a very competitive market again. We're working with Connor in coaching, so we're working closely with our top 3 agents and really trying to do some housekeeping in their dashboard and really get most specifically the 3 of them really ramped up.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Dan Elam.
You kind of know where we're at, but to share it, triaging, lost our entire TC department over the last 60 days, 90 days, something like that. So rehiring for that. We haven't lost lost about 100K over the last 6 months. But March looks like it'll be a good March. So we doubled our agent count over the last 6 months or so. I'll say our new agents are in the same scenario, same situation. Very, very minimal contribution. I put agents in three, just for my own mind. There's top tier, middle tier, and the new agents. That middle tier, they've been with us for 6 to 18 months. And the top tier, of course, have been with us for a lot of years. Those top tier agents are always doing well. Middle tier, making some progress. That lower tier, no contribution at all,
Yeah.
but have a positive outlook.
Yeah. It's in essence a bit of a hold game for those folks. And that's difficult to, I stared at one of my, in my agent training this morning, I stared at one of my new agents and I said, I'm not holding my breath for you right now. And I said, I don't want you to take that personally, but like, until I see consistent production, I'm not going to count on it. I can't business plan on a hope. Oh, that's going to be a good video. I like, okay.
We had a great team meeting yesterday where we had really hard conversations about the same kind of thing, Eric. Because I'm hearing this, excuse me, but like I'm hearing bullshit in the huddle from some of these agents be like, yesterday was a really productive day. And I'm like, okay, you made 196 calls. You didn't have a conversation that was worth anything. You didn't set any decent follow-ups. You didn't set an appointment. Tell me how that's productive. Like I don't want to hear that you've been productive if you're not actually doing anything. Like, no offense, but like, then you walk out of here and like, are you doing behind closed doors what you say you're going to do? Are you actually following the commitments? Because you're saying appointments, you're saying pendings, and there's nothing. So
Hey, Rachel, I need you.
level of integrity here. That's
Yeah.
kind of where
Yeah. Can you come in our huddles and talk to our people?
Yeah,
Guys,
I need you to come to my huddle. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's done it. That's why we put together
Yeah.
that sheet. Like seriously, Rach, you'd love to help them out, right?
I totally would. Yeah.
So
Come and
call
spit
in
a little
Rach.
fire for a couple minutes.
Our agents need it.
Hey,
Al,
Eric,
go ahead.
yeah, so I think one of the things that we did to change that, it's frustrating when all of us are more motivated than the agent. One thing that we are doing is we're trying to change behaviors, and how we do that is if you don't level a certain amount of production, you get desk fees of X. So at the end of the day, it's not going to just cost me money, it's going to cost you money. So we're jointly motivated to get to the finish line. And should you not, well, at least it's income for the company. We can count on something to offset some of your expense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the motivation by pleasure or pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I prefer the pleasure, but I'll give the pain.
Wow, Amber, you okay? Yeah, that was uncomfortable for all of us there.
Hey, you were thinking and I just said it.
Luckily, I'm not falling short.
She can write this too.
I talked with my agents this morning and I said, one of the issues is a lot of you are like looking around for motivation right now, and motivation is external. Motivation is the wind. Motivation is what we bring. What we have to help them find is inspiration. And that inspiration is internal. They have to have clarity of why they work. They have to have clarity of what they do. And it's a hard go, because if they don't, people will show up more when they find wins and when they get momentum. They need wins. Yep. So we got to figure out, how do we help them to win on something small? They want something big, but the big will never come until they start compounding the small wins.
Eric, you gave us something that honestly, if I pick like what's the best thing that we picked up this year, it's our 30-day sprints. And it's like the energy one that brings to the new agents who come in, because we tell them, like, in the one, when we interview them, 2 for the in-person, 3 for the final appointment with the director of sales, director of ops, and myself. It's like we're constantly setting the stage for what's going to be expected. And we're like, the one thing that we've added because of those 30-day sprints that we've been running, it's like, hey, if running monthly competitions that is going to be solely focused on the output that you have to take to be as successful as an agent doesn't sound like fun for you, don't join us, because it's an expectation for you to receive leads that you got to participate with you and your team. The switching it up every 30 days. So like literally our newest group of onboarding agents this week, each one of them is putting up some of the biggest calls that we've ever seen any agent put, because there's this new seed that's being planted on the day that they're coming in and then on the indoctrination day, that this is what's expected. These minimums will be hit or you will be removed from onboarding. And so we have that weekly onboarding meeting and we will look at their output, and it is not on paper. It's straight up in Sisu, which is all automated and locked. So they can't fake the numbers. They can't lie about the numbers, the phone calls, the conversations, the appointments, all that's in there. And if they're not doing the output, we have been removing people, and there has been nothing that's kicked people into gear faster than that.
Colton, I'm curious with like bringing on these big producers, the 30, 20 million file producers, are they in like looped into the same group as those agents in the onboarding process?
Yep. Yep. It's the exact same. And we tell them, and it's like we had, and the cool thing is now we have like vocal cheerleaders of it in the huddles. Like we've got the Stephanies and the Reginas and the Christinas, people who sell a ton of real estate without any of our leads. And they're like, look, I do want to be held accountable to this. And we give them the choice because we're like, do we really want to pause some of our best producers? And so we brought it to the, and Holly was like, do I really want to go pause Marcus? Do I really want to go pause Christina? Like we're going to choke ourselves out by doing that. So I was like, well, look, we have our criteria and you can discern based on performance and production and value to the company, what you want to do there. But I was like, let's ask them. So we brought them all in. It's like, hey guys, you all crush it. I don't want to be standing in your way. However, if you were being held accountable to doing this, this, and that, just imagine how much more success you would have. And it's like, do you guys want to be held accountable to that? Or you guys want us to kind of back off a little bit? And each and every one of them was like, at first they fought it a little bit, but each and every one of them texted, I was like, by the end of the day, get back to me and let me know what you guys prefer, because I don't want to destroy the team by us cracking the whip on people. Each and every one of them said, absolutely, I do want to be held accountable to it. And if I don't, turn me off leads, because that's the only thing that's going to wake me up in the morning.
That's good. PK, we're going to go to you. Give us a snapshot. What are you bringing in today?
We're just in a really hard place right now because of personnel. Running a micro team's hard when personnel is unavailable. So one of my partners now on maternity leave, and we are like, we're humming, we're busy. Karen's showing a ton of homes, but she is showing a ton of homes, and she doesn't have our other partner to help her right now. Zach just got deployed, and he's my hunter. And then Maggie, my other team agent, she is out for a little while with some personal stuff. So everything's like being hoisted back up. You know, everything that was going down is now being hoisted back up. So for me, just personally, there's a lot that I'm taking on that I haven't had to in a couple of years. And so we're, from a production standpoint, we've got a really good amount of pendings and got a lot of clients we're serving, but we're out of people. And like, I made a mistake. I knew Katie was going to have a baby 6 months ago. I should have hired a partner 6 months ago. So I screwed up thinking I was just conservative because, you know, I watched all of us struggling a little bit, and I'm like, do I hire another partner? Are we actually going to need one? And turns out we need one. So I think our only solution now is hiring a team agent that takes a partner role. We're having personnel problems right now. Not enough people.
You recognize you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, right?
Right.
You run a micro team and you rely on a few. One of those goes. I had this conversation with Mark and Marcy on our coaching call. One of those people goes, and oh my gosh, your whole world is like uprooted. You run a team where you have a whole bunch of people. Well, then it's so hard to get a bunch of people to be massively productive together. And so if you're looking to be like, well, what do I do? I think that you can have both, and you just need to know what you're going to get from both. I think the micro team is a must. Dan Elam and I have been talking about that, right? The micro team is a must, and the larger team we're going to invest in because that will provide fruit. Like it has to be a both and, but both have their flaws, man.
Yeah, 100%. That's our struggle right now. Time. Yeah.
Dan, you asked me the question, am I recruiting new agents or mainly existing agents? Was that meant for the whole group or for me? You're on mute, buddy.
Sorry, it was actually meant for Colton. Sorry about
For
that.
Colton, that's okay. Colton's recruiting both new agents and existing. I'll speak on his behalf. Can we just pause for a minute and notice Brian Burns' picture there? And
Where's
just want
this
you
beard?
I want you to enjoy prepubescent Brian Birds.
Hold on. That's actually the day that I met Eric Hatch. Just I thought it was a reminiscent picture.
That's very nice. It's very nice. Hey, we're gonna move into this keep stop start. I'm gonna run a legit 3-minute timer on people. Hopefully you saw the email. Sorry, I meant to get that out earlier in the day, but it got away from me. I'll give you a quick perspective in my world. We had to fire 3 admin this week. We got 2 more to go. We've had 3 rounds of layoffs that we've had to do. I'm selling the building that I own and that we're in. We are right sizing mightily. I'm cutting my lead gen spend down 40%. I'm cutting my admin staff down almost 50%. I'm making what feels like fast changes. They're not fast changes. They're actually changes that I should have made a long time ago. And so I'm holding my money accountable and I'm holding my people accountable. And so I have a fire and an intensity for my business that I haven't had in quite some time because it needs a leader right now and I need to be that leader. So the idea behind Keep Stop Start is you choose the path you want to go. You choose what you want to share with the group, but I think we're all examining and trying to figure out what are we going to do or what's exceptionally going well. This is one of my favorite activities to do with my team, by the way. We'll spend 20 minutes on Keep, 20 minutes on Stop, 20 minutes on Start, or you'll put people in small groups and have them do it that they bring to the large group. But we're going to go around and get an idea of Keep, Stop, Start. Rachel Novak, you had mentioned that you had some stuff you wanted to share. So I'm just going to start with the Novak team and we'll take it from there.
All right, well, Keep. So we have deduced over the last couple of months that keeping the showing partner model and continuing to promote within as those partners graduate is the way that we want to organically grow our team. We have 2 other partners that are going to be graduating over the next 6 months, and both are ready, excited, and like productive. Jen has already produced 3.5 million in the last month and a half for the team. So she's absolutely rocking it. And we're going to be interviewing for her partner here over the next couple of months to start them in Q3. So very excited about that. So keeping that for sure. Stopping. We are not going to continue to hire new agents. It does not work for us. We don't want to, if I'm totally honest. We've hired to the subculture. We have, 5 or 6 new agents, brand new agents to the team. And it just seems to be a drag on kind of the rest of the hire agents. So it's not something that we're actively pursuing anymore. It is something where Mike and I are continuing to put out agent attraction and bringing in producers. That would be the goal, but we're not actively recruiting and hiring for brand new agents anymore. So we're stopping that. Starting, we have over the last month partnered with Michael. You are going to need to remind me of their name. Video Changed My Life or something like that. Anyways, we created 2 YouTube channels. One is a buyer seller lead funnel and attraction. So we're doing evergreen videos, like 5 to 10 a month, that they're doing the full editing, doing all the keyword searches for, and creating and building out that channel. And the other one is agent attraction channel. So we're doing a lot of agent education. That one's called The Real Novaks, of course. But we're really, really heavy into video and evergreen content so that we can continue to kind of build authority in the space, in the market, and all that. Also starting to do more agent-centered activities. So Mike and I launched our top producer mastermind in our market. We invited, I believe, 10 or 11 top producers who are actually hitting 20 to 25 million every year over the last 5 years into this. What, honey? Oh, and it was super well received. Like, they are stoked to get in a room together. The premise of it is just 2 hours a month or every other month, maybe even, where we just get together and talk about what's working, what's happening in the market, what's going on. And everybody is really excited to collaborate and kind of have that level of collaboration over competition in our market. So it's that we're really excited about that. And we're really excited about the relationships that we can build just in our local market. And with us being the kind of the leaders of it and moderators of it, it continues to build our authority and market share in the area. So,
which will then lead to more attraction of like-minded agents instead of going after new ones, right? It's a compounding up, if I understand that.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, awesome. You used your time well. Dana, let's go to you.
You say Dana.
I said Dana.
Okay, just making sure. So for us, what we're doing well is while I'm not as harsh as Rachel, I'm the hard one here in our office. And so we need a little bit more softness. And Ken does what we call therapy Thursdays with all the agents. And he is very good at motivating them. I know that you just gave the definition, and motivation and inspiration are very different, but I feel like he also inspires them, and they are the ones who named it Therapy Thursdays. So he brings, it's more like goals training and what are you doing? And if you're not, like today, let's see, what was his conversation today was he said, you cannot defeat what you can't define. So I know he uses a lot of Craig Rochelle stuff. And I think that's where he got that, but helping them to define what it is that they can't overcome. So that's really good. We still do Caravan, where we go look at our new listings every week. I don't know if any of you do that, but that's what I think I need to stop. I'm not sure if it's productive.
So interjecting here, obviously the MLS gives them a lot of what they need, and the buyers are saying they're going after this. Is the purpose of it to preview the listing?
It is.
The purpose of it? Okay, so it's to preview the listing, but the value of it is the camaraderie of your agents together. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of removing it, could you just replace it with something? Another camaraderie type thing?
Or maybe just do it twice a month instead of every week. That might be.
Yeah, I think you might be the only team in the country that's still caravanning to look at.
I know. And that's what I'm worried about. So I know I'm a lot old school because I'm old. That's why I have you guys. Y'all are young and fresh. And then what I need to start doing is more one-on-ones connecting with them. I've quit doing that because I'm too busy, but with Danae coming on board, I'm going to try to get back into doing that, because I feel like I am the I feel like I'm the slave driver, and the market's been slow and they're frustrated, and I'm trying to motivate and hold accountable, and it's been a challenge, and I'm really glad Danae's coming on board. I feel like she's younger and maybe it'll help.
Will they take her seriously? Does she have clout and credibility in the industry?
Yeah, I think so. She's had her license about 10 years. She, she's very smart, has a master's degree, did another career for a while. But she's been involved in the business for a very long time. She's been doing our marketing, helping with our marketing, and people really respect that. So I think it'll be a little bit of a transition, but I think they'll enjoy having her in that position.
Awesome. Thanks, Dana. Jimothy Black, we'll go to you.
Nice. So I don't know, one thing that's actually been working when we signed up for a fellow, and we've been getting a lot of engaging a lot of people in our database, starting to use that on the mailings we send out. So I'm going to kind of see how that works over these next few weeks, but I just, I love the way they do it. It's just like Open Door, so easy. Just click and get a value, and it grabs people earlier in the funnel. So and then we're gonna utilize radio and and some OTT stuff of that as well, and just really go that route, because it's just been working for us. I think the biggest things from like a stopping and starting is I gotta stop letting things go too long in the team, and like you gotta part ways earlier a lot of times. So I'm working on that, making those decisions earlier. And me and Eric this past week, we're working on just coming up with a plan as to, because we argued about why I don't need to hire any people, and he argued back as to why I do. And we found some middle ground, which involves me hiring the right people, and only the right people. And even if it's not a lot of people, I need to hire the right people, because we're going to continue to part ways with people for various reasons. And so this week I started just posting stuff out there about like who we really want, talking to people in their arenas of where we would want to find them, like talking to guys at the gym, talking to people that I'm doing a ruck race with, like, who do you know that is intense, that wants to grow as a person, wants to basically go, do things nobody else wants to do. I talked to Novak about it too, as well. Just that's my biggest focus. I need to hire people, but I need to hire people that are going to fit in our culture, that are going to want to run fast, really fast, and are going to want to fall down, are going to want to fail because they want to grow.
Yeah, Jim, you've done a lot of work to kind of go through these mental hoops of more people is a headache, but then obviously you're not going to keep all the people that you have, as it's happening with Robbie leaving today. And so this is a talent acquisition game, no matter what we say, what we do. Our job is to grow the right audience and to get the right seats in the butt. And you sitting idly by on the sidelines and just doing it off and on is not going to get you the results that you want. It's a constant thing. I am making a video today, and it goes back to my fraternity days. Make all your jokes now. I'll pause for a moment. Okay. With that being said, we always were told about there's a difference between rush and recruitment. And rush week was when we would do all of these events to try to draw in and attract people. And so that 1 week we would get the majority of the people that would join our fraternity. Well, recruitment is a year-long, always on the hunt kind of thing. And the mindset that most of us don't have is that we're constantly recruiting, that we're constantly attracting, that this is not something that we turn off and turn on. Everything that we do is on the hunt, not on the gather. Rush week is the gather. We have to be on the hunt. If you seriously want a big life, do you think that talent is going to come knocking on your door? Let me say that again. If you seriously want a big life, do you think that talent is going to come find you, or are you going to have to go and find it? So that would be my pushback, or not my pushback, but support up there. Okay, let's go to Colton. Colton, you're on the hot seat. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, so we're gonna stop Client Giant. It's $120 per client per year. We are going to replace it with Celebrity Agent. Celebrity Agent is they send like a handwritten market update to the clients, which is actually really cool. Sounds kind of lame, but if you see it, it's incredible. And that's only $1.10 per send, so it's going to be under $7 a year as opposed to 120. It's way more call to action, and it is we can dramatically increase the touches that we're having by switching that. So we're doing that. We're starting Celebrity Agent. It's a really great tool for identifying listings and identifying marketings using like yellow letters, that type of thing. The problem with the yellow letter process is it's so labor intensive. This CSV files and sending it to yellow letter, and by the time they get it approved and kicked out, it's 2 weeks later. Celebrity Agent's like a Zillow for the same process. So you get to type in exactly what they're looking for, sales scores, super pinpointed. So we're going to start that. We're excited for it. We've got friends that are using it with a ton of success. And then keep our agent development cadence that we're on right now. It's working pretty well. So we're just going to keep doing more of that.
Explain what's working well. What is your cadence for agent development?
So doing the daily huddles, the first 30 minutes is role playing objection handling. The second 30 minutes is something topical that's helping agents move the needle. We do a Wednesday deep dive on a rotating 12-week circuit. All agents, regardless of experience level, have to participate in each of the deep dives. And those are Wednesdays at 1 at 12 o'clock. And then your sprints, like, dude, I'm telling you, the sprints are the best thing that we've ever done. And forcing the teams to switch, because then that way, all of a sudden, within the first 3 months, you've been partnered with everybody on the team, and the culture that's been developed as a result of that has been incredible.
Yeah, it's important to note, if you are listening to the sprints, these competitions, these 30-day dives are never meant for somebody to stand alone. They're always partnered with agents that are on different levels. So if you have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 agents, every team is a mix of those. So you have your veteran agents with your newbies, with your people kind of finding their way, and they all hold each other accountable. So it creates a lot of little management systems within.
everything that we were having to do is like, guys, you got to make your phone calls. Guys, you got to hold open houses. Guys, you got to go inventory search. Guys, you got to do your buyer consultations. Guy, whatever the hell it is that you want to do. It's like the cool thing is we're switching up the sprint so the recipe doesn't get, they don't get used to the taste. We want to keep switching it up. But it gives you the ability to wait with the point scoring in Sisu what you need to pay the most attention to. Like, Jesus, getting anybody to go into the pond was impossible. But now these getting people to attend call night, we had to set it up like a damn arcade with games and prizes and spin the wheel. And it's like, we got to do this to get you to do your job. But when we implemented the sprints that Eric gave us, they're doing it on their own. Right now, I'm getting blown up with each of the teams in our Slack chat. Hey guys, who's available tonight at 4 o'clock for a call night? Because that's one of our heavily weighted point values. And it's like, hey guys, reviews was one sprint. We got 75 reviews in 1 week. It's like, phone calls, pond dials. We had maybe in the last 30 days outside of ISA efforts, we had 180 phone calls done by agents in the pond. Since we focus our sprint on it, we had over 3,052 phone calls. And it's just because we're weighting the point value, and it gives you the ability to make the entire team put pressure on the areas of the business that need help.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier with what you gave us on that.
Awesome. Let's go to Iverson's.
Okay. We are going to keep pouring into past clients, sphere of influence, making that our focus, events, hot buys. We implemented that that system that Wendy had with the monthly and choose something that's been super well received by agents. And I think I talked about it before, where the agents are responsible. We will do the work, but they're responsible for paying and sending them out, and they're all doing it because hard work is done. Stop buying leads. So continually shaving them off. Start recruiting, programming, and our value stacking. So options for sellers, they choose the commission and the options they want.
I want to give you a framework for one of the best recruiting things that you can do. And the greatest recruitment tool I think anybody has is really great retention. And what I mean by that is you need to have your value proposition defined. The mistake that I think you'd make is to tell your agents, this is why this place is valuable. This is all that we provide. We talk about leads, leadership, leverage, and we dump on people and say, oh my gosh, this is why our organization is so great. When it comes to recruitment, we do that. But when it comes to retention, I think we have to look at it differently. And so take your agents and have an open conversation about the value proposition of what you guys provide. And what's going to happen is you'll identify some things that are missing that they deeply want. I have Dana saying, you can't defeat what you can't define, right? That's such a great quote. So if you can't defeat what you can't define, if people are complaining about what your infrastructure or your organization looks like right now, that's what my team is doing, is they're complaining. Well, we need to define what's missing. Well, it doesn't feel like it did before. Well, let's figure out what's missing then. But even more so, to lean in and to define the value of what it is, because my team did this 2 weeks ago, unintentionally so, and we could have done it better, and we're going to do it better. But our agents came through and they said, we don't value our marketing. We think our marketing's trash. I have a 4-person marketing team and they think it's trash. We don't use it. We don't like how slow it is. Well, honestly, I'm going to let 2 of them go, because I need to pivot to where my agents are saying that they need the value, not because, yes, they are entitled snobs, but not because they're entitled snobs, because it's the move that we need to do to progress. And oftentimes we just hang on to what was. And so when you do this exercise, you'll find the things that your agents don't value that we think that they value. So there's a cleansing process there, but then you're going to find holes of what isn't getting you to where you want to get to. So it's both a budget move. It's a way in which to build up some confidence, because you're now having everybody say, these are all the things of value that we have. And then you're going to fill in the gaps from there. Does that make sense? I promise you, this activity, when done right, will provide massive insight for you and massive validation for your agents. Because what you're saying is if they're going to go out on their own, they don't get any of that. And so you've had them identify why your place is so valuable. It becomes a really good recruiter piece.
I have to say, can I tack onto that for just a sec, Eric? Just
Please.
because in our team meeting yesterday, we got a little spicy. Rachel got a little spicy. I had a little soapbox moment. And we framed it first. Mike started the meeting asking everybody, are you on track for your business this year? What are your numbers? Where are you at? Pending activity, where are things at? So everybody had to report their numbers. Only 4 of us are on track this year out of the 14 agents we have on our team. And so that was a really good frame. And then I came in and I started asking, what opportunities does the team provide? What benefits does the team provide? Why are you on this team? And so we literally had like a roundtable discussion with the entire team. And we had some of the senior agents, Chuck and Jen, talking about why they're on the team and what their obligation to the team is, and like talking so much, positive about the team. And then everybody kind of started piping in with it. And so being able to kind of frame like what the team provides. And then, I then turned it and said, what does the team owe you? What is your team responsible for in your business? And had them answer that question, right? And so a couple of them were like, well, like leads, but only when we earn it. And, oh yeah, you do some marketing, so they answered their own questions. And it was actually super powerful to be able to kind of bring that into the group and have everybody say like, oh shit, I'm the one. I'm the reason I'm not where I'm at right now. And everybody had that aha. So it was a super powerful exercise to do.
Yeah. Well, I did that this morning with my team, an iteration of it. It's so fun to do. Mark, cool. Let's go to you.
Okay. So we are going to keep the 9-step hiring process. I do like our coaching call the other day, yesterday, talking about recruiting possible agents that are out there struggling, because like you, Rachel, we've always hired new ones, and I think there's a lot of value to be said about hiring some agents that culturally fit, that are already up to speed on all of these things. So that's something we may throw in the mix.
Everybody's recruitable right now.
Yeah.
Everybody in your market is recruitable.
We're going to stop overspending and buying leads. We've already started backing off on our Zillow spend and things like that. And we haven't really seen a downtick from that, just like everyone else didn't. So stop overspending on marketing, on essentials and buying leads, and start getting back to the basics. During COVID, fish were jumping in the boat. People forgot that telecons are garbage. Get them in the office. We need to get them in the office now. 60% of our business is out of state. So a lot of telecons happen. I mean, it's just a ton of telecons. We just have to, but if they're in town, get them in the office as much as possible. So we got to start getting back to the basics on that. And then also the other start was the professional services fee, which we're in the process of getting that seed planted and going. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hit it, Mark. Do it, baby.
Who was that? Oh, Patrick. PK.
PK, let's go to you, baby.
Start. Agent attraction has been going pretty good on the real side of things for us. We got our hand slapped by real starting out because we were a little aggressive, and we peeled it back in the right ways. And I have a growth director who has a little bit of time to dedicate to it. And we were talking about family working together. My mom has been an agent for me for years, and she isn't really producing anymore, but she's an incredible connector. And so she's going to help our growth director in attracting people. So we're going to ramp that up because it's been going pretty good. It's a long play game. I'm learning, but we have a lot of leads. So we're going to start that in a new way. I'm considering greatly stopping our ISA department. Looking back through the numbers, I've had an ISA for 8 months, and it's attributed to 7% of our deals. And it's not profitable for us. So I'm nervous about that though, because we're pretty lean on people and lead conversion, as you guys have heard. My partners do a great job when they are able to lead convert, but they're also so busy because we have a lot of business. So we're kind of in this weird pickle right now where I don't know how we're going to handle all this business, other than hiring maybe an experienced or seasoned agent. And then keeping, right now, I think the only thing that we can do, I mean, we can keep a lot of things, but we need to keep our weekly challenges that we do in lead generation and conversion, because that is what holds me and the partners accountable to generating business right now. Because if not, we would just be serving a lot, and we got to keep bringing new people in. So those are our start, stops, and keeps.
Awesome. Thanks, PK. Dan, Elon, let's go to you.
So much of mine is triage now, with that TC department all to pieces. So a lot of my time is devoted there. But starting, certainly some form of a micro team or a showing agent. To be fully transparent, I don't know that I really know the difference between the two. So I probably need to
There's
look.
not.
Okay, not much difference there. So I see that as a potentially very profitable center there that maybe we're just not taking advantage of. Another thing I want to start with the encouragement of Eric is more training with me. I don't do a lot of that here anymore, but I think he's probably right. I need to do more of that. More involvement with our agents to help with help with agent retention. We haven't lost a lot of agents, but we have lost some. And then stop letting agents just hang around forever, and stop letting the cancers hang around because we think we can improve them. We think they'll get better. I've got to stop that. I've also got to stop overspending and throwing money at all kinds of things. That's my internal knob. Throw a bunch of money at something, it's got to get better. That, of course, doesn't work. So those are my stop and starts.
Thanks, Dan. I want to ask the group a question. If we got rid of your bottom 20% performing agents, do you lose anything?
Nope.
I mean, slim to none. I'm not telling you to go and get rid of them. I'm telling you to have standards that get rid of them. If you don't have a standard that says, if you're not performing at this level by this time, sorry, this just won't work for you anymore. What happens is we lose some emotional energy to these people, and that's one of the most valuable things that we have right now is our emotional energy. So let's go to birds.
Okay, so I love this meeting because I think it always gives us good clarification. And Eric, holy shit, that's a massive change in your business. So congratulations to that. I mean, that's a big deal. All right. So I have Keep. We have been really granular about our training modules, getting really into the weeds and really stop the anticipation that people know what I think they know, and start actually teaching them what I want them to know. I guess that's the easiest way to translate that. Reducing lead count, we're going to continue. So taking lead count down. So every day we do 2 sweeps of leads. Things that we have an entire lead manager that is supervising, and he's sweeping out leads. So we're trying to keep those advisors down to somewhere in the tune of 20 to 40 leads on the high end. And if they're not working them, moving them out. I love the sprint idea. I think that's something that that might go into my start category. Stop paying for any leads. I want to be at net zero time ASAP. So I anticipate that will be the biggest value add to the business. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's there. Second big stop is adding admin to try and fill the gap. I believe that mixed with AI, mixed with automation, I think we can accommodate 99%. It just requires a little more upfront work that is going to take some time and energy and effort. So stop adding admin to fill in the gap that we feel that the agents are not doing. And when we get busy, we're a business that moves back and forth. We have really, like, we didn't have any listing appointments in January, but we tripled our listing appointments in February, right? So here we are, I'm reviewing like, hey, do we need to make some movement on our listing side? And then we're now like, oh shit, do we need to add people on our listing side? What we need to do is just automate it to make it, whether it's a lot or a little, it's still sustainable. We need to build more organic growth. We need to have that owning our business mentality and build it organically. Getting the advisors to do their video content, doing blog content, all that, putting that out there. One thing that's really worked, so this has already kind of started, but we want to really put it into hyper gear. So we allowed, for the first time, our buying agents to jump into do sphere of influence listings, which we had never done in the past. But to do that, they had to go through a 4-course load with me. It was not required. It was not, if they don't show up, they don't show up. It was very high requirement. Like they had to do homework for it. They had to do prerequisite work for it. And they have a test at the end to see if they qualify for it. I have now noticed that they are a lot more engaged than if I just did a listing training in the middle of the day that told everybody to come. Because I made it something outside of the realm, massive change. So that was huge.
So
we're going to do that.
So,
for other
so
things.
what that is, you're asking for the hand raisers as opposed to the required. And you get such a higher level of engagement and involvement, and you're making it about what they need to earn, right? It's not about what's required, it's about what they want to earn. If they want to earn the right to do those listings, people show up so different. Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Thanks,
And
Brian.
this is the biggest.
Go ahead, finish up, and then we'll move on.
Yep. This is a big one. We are starting to go after low-hanging agents to create more transactions. So hear me out. We have a referral agency that will hold a license for $600 a year and keep that license active for $600 a year. They don't have to join the MLS. They don't have to join anything. There's multiple variants of this. EXP came out with a model that really worked for this, so we've implemented it heavy. So I've always said that there's 1,000 agents in our market that do 1 to 2 deals a month, or 1 to 2 deals a year. They are the mouth breathers that we constantly talk about. I want that 1,000 transactions. How do I get it? Well, if they refer it to me, I get it. So what we're doing is I'm going to all these 1 or 2 producing units in the last 12 months, and we are calling them and saying, hey, listen, you want to make more money? Great. Come on to EXP. You want to save more money? Great. Let's move you over to a referral and just send us your referrals and we'll get you paid. This has panned out. We've been doing this for 2 weeks. We have brought on 6 agents that have done a total of 8 deals in the last 12 months. We will get those 8 deals next year. They will spend less money. They get to do whatever they were doing before. They don't have to pay $1,400 to maintain licensure. And I just found 8 more deals. Now I pay a referral for it, but I pay Zillow the referral or OpCity the referral anyway. So it's there.
Yeah,
and I get a rev share piece. So that's awesome too.
Yeah, really clever. I love
Right.
it.
So you said you're charging them $600.
So there are models out there. You can find a non-affiliated MLS broker that will do this for you. EXP built a model for it, so they can go into it, and EXP charges them $600 a year, $50 a month.
Gotcha.
Okay. Justin Stewart, wrap us up, buddy.
Okie dokie. Well, I apologize for being late, and I hope that I got the gist here. So my start is the professional services fee. We are currently implementing that. I've spent about a month just with training for that. We role play every single day on this, so that when they start selling this to our clients, they're super confident in the way they're delivering their information. There's no issues there. So that's our start. Our stop, we're stopping all of our Facebook leads. So that was a big portion of our business the last few years, and we're stopping that entirely. Our keep is along the same lines of the sprint and challenge. We have Sisu, so we do challenges every month on that. That's been really cool, but probably the coolest part that we have in that is that we do trivia every day. So a part of our huddles is about 15 to 20 minutes worth of trivia. We do that to gamify it, and it's fun. It's probably the favorite part of the realtors of our huddles. But the reason I do it is because it's a training opportunity. All we do with these trivia questions is we train over the contracts and all the information, the intricacies of all of them, which is great for the knowledge, but really it's really doing, which is helping our business the more than anything, is it's giving them tremendous confidence to be able to conduct these contracts and these conversations around them. So we do trivia every morning. We usually ask about 3 to 5 questions in trivia, usually around contracts or procedural things. And that's made a huge change because our agents are largely newer agents. They're brand new when they started here, and they've only been in a couple of years. So that in turn, I think, has been one of the bigger contributors to our current position on our business, which we're up about 300% year to date over last year with the same amount of people on listings, and we're up 200% on pending on transaction. I think the biggest portion of that is simply the confidence of the agents to be able to go out there and make things happen. So that was a quick and dirty, but I hope that was all the stuff.
Wow, congrats on the growth, dude. I'd like to credit our mastermind for all the reason of your success. Let me hit you with my keep, stop, start very quickly. I'm going to start using a profit first model, meaning I have let the tail wag the dog for my business for a really long time. And at this chance of a rebirth and redoing things, I'm going to make sure that I make money at every turn. It is a change in mindset. Here's the best way I can describe it is when I first started in real estate, I had the pendulum all the way over here that everybody works for me and I'm going to win, and hopefully other people can win in the process. I've swung the pendulum all the way over here for a number of years to be like, I just need my agents to hit their goals and then I'll win in the process. But it had been so much that I've let this become the dictator of that I have lost control over some of the things in my business. I've hired too much. I've spent too much. I've trusted too much. And we haven't lost our way, but I've lost my money. I've lost my drive for this. And so in the middle here is where I'm excited to be, in which it's a balance of making sure I win and making sure my agents win. The easiest language I can use in this is I am partnering with my agents now. I am no longer working for them, and they're no longer working for me. This is a partnership together. And so that mindset is changing a lot of things for me on how I approach. My agents expect the best from me, the best leads, the best admin support, the best marketing. And I suggest they give me their best. And I'm mad about it. I'm pissed about it. It's been an unfair relationship to this point. And so I'm unapologetically leaning on this idea of partnering with my agents. And that mindset is changing a lot of things. I am working really heavy on agent attraction. And for the first time, we are going to start attracting agents to our team that currently are licensed and not are brand new. Brand new has still been our bread and butter, and we're going to continue to lean on that. But I am now putting an emphasis on, with the help of Shelly, putting an emphasis on attracting currently licensed agents, because I think we have what they need. And I am going to continue to grow my audience. If you think about it as a coach, I'm going to continue to grow my audience, and that is one of my North Stars for all this. So that's what I'm keeping, stopping, and starting. Good call today. Hope it was a good call today. I saw a lot of nuggets from y'all. Love you. Talk soon. Bye.